The whisper that shattered everything. The night the truth detonated, Michael Hart, single dad, waiter, and survivor of too many unpaid dreams, stared into the eyes of the most powerful woman in New York. Rain hammered the diner windows like frantic fingers, lightning briefly exposing her silhouette. And just before she spoke the words that would rip open the past, he felt a pulse of dread, the kind that warns a person their life is about to pivot forever. But the real shock came later, when her whisper solved the mystery he'd been running from for 7 years. Before we go any deeper, hit that like button and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles, because what's about to unfold is a story you won't believe actually happened. Hours earlier, the evening had felt ordinary enough. Michael was juggling plates at Ellie's Diner off Route 19, the kind of place where the coffee tasted like burnt hope but customers tipped in smiles. He worked 2 jobs and raised his daughter Lily, a bright 7-year-old with a laugh that made strangers momentarily forget their troubles. Michael's whole world fit inside that laugh. He was wiping down the counter, trying to ignore the ache in his back, when the dinner rush arrived. The line reached outside the door, construction workers, nurses, tired parents with toddlers. And at the very end stood a woman who didn't belong there at all. Tall. Immaculate. A slate-gray suit that probably cost more than he made in 3 months. Hair pinned like she'd walked out of a magazine shoot. Eyes sharp enough to slice through a crowd. People whispered her name like a warning. Victoria Hale. CEO of Hale Industries. Billionaire. Philanthropist. Shark dressed as a saint. He recognized her instantly, everyone did. Her face was on billboards, news reports, business magazines. But recognition didn't inspire awe in him. It inspired anger. 7 years of it. She stepped into the diner, and the air changed. Most people would have rushed to serve her, but Michael didn't. He moved with exaggerated casualness, deliberately ignoring her place in line. Not out of rudeness, out of necessity. Recognizing her meant remembering the year his world collapsed. He took orders from the customers ahead of her, not even glancing in her direction. She didn't complain. She didn't flash her wealth or status. She simply watched him with an unreadable expression, almost tense. When her turn finally came, she stepped forward. Up close, he saw something he never expected: fear. Not corporate boardroom fear. Personal fear. She opened her mouth to speak, hesitated, and then leaned closer. "Michael," she whispered. He froze. Hearing his name from her lips felt like an old wound splitting open. "I need to talk to you. Privately." He forced a tight smile. "Didn't realize billionaires waited for diners like the rest of us." "It's important," she said. "It's about her." Her. For a moment he panicked. Did she somehow mean Lily? The thought alone carved cold lines down his spine. "No," he said firmly. "I'm working. If you want a table, I'll send someone else." She inhaled shakily. "Please. This can't wait." He shut her down with a practiced numbness. "Ma'am, there's a line." She blinked, hurt flickering across her face. But she stepped aside obediently and sat in a booth. Michael tried to brush it off, but unease crawled under his skin. Why was she here? Why now? Then his manager shoved him toward her booth. "She asked for you. Specifically." "Fantastic." He walked over reluctantly, clutching his order pad like a shield. "What do you want?" he asked. She clasped her hands as if bracing for impact. "I didn't come here to cause trouble. I came because I discovered something I should have known years ago." He frowned. "You and I don't have anything to discuss." Her voice cracked, like a hairline fracture in steel. "Michael. I need to show you something. But before I do, I need you to believe that I didn't know. I swear I didn't." That was enough. He slammed his pad shut. I have tables. It's about the child. He stopped breathing. What child? He said dangerously. Victoria swallowed. 7 years ago, after things ended, there were complications. Decisions were made without my knowledge. Documents hidden. Tests altered. I didn't find out the truth until 2 weeks ago. He felt the room spin. Victoria, what are you saying? Her eyes softened, trembling. That little girl you held as a newborn, she whispered, the one you thought, wasn't yours? His voice came out hollow. Don't. She was yours. The world cracked open under his feet. His chest constricted, old memories erupting, hospital lights, a crying newborn, a nurse's voice telling him the DNA test ruled him out, Victoria's corporate obligations taking her out of the country, their relationship crumbling, him walking away because staying hurt too deeply. You're lying, he rasped. I wish I were, she whispered. But I brought proof. His heart thundered, whether from rage or fear he couldn't tell. And why now? He demanded. What made you suddenly grow a conscience? Her hands trembled as she reached for her purse. Because, she said, I was told she didn't survive. The words hit him like a blow. I was told my baby girl died shortly after birth. But she didn't. She was taken. Given away. Placed under a different identity. Hidden from me. Hidden from us both. Her voice broke fully now. Michael, they stole her from me. He felt physically sick. What are you talking about? Who would? She slid a document across the table, face pale. Someone who didn't want our child to complicate our careers. Someone inside my company. Someone who forged test results so you'd believe she wasn't yours, and fed me a lie to protect their interests. Michael stared. Impossible. Unthinkable. What does this have to do with me? He whispered. Victoria lifted her eyes, shimmering with grief. Your daughter is alive, she said. And I think I know where she is. What? He breathed. Her lips trembled. Michael. I think she's the little girl you're raising. Everything inside him stopped. No breath. No heartbeat. Just a void swallowing sound. My Lily, he whispered. Victoria nodded, tears slipping free. Her real name was Hope. The diner spun out of focus as a memory struck him, the nurse's odd expression when he came to pick Lily up, the missing paperwork, the rushed adoption approval he'd been too exhausted and heartbroken to question. Michael, Victoria said softly, voice shaking, I think Lily is our daughter. Chapter 2 will reveal the truth, the conspiracy, and the final twist that answers the hook, but before we continue, take a breath. The truth that burned through the lies. Michael followed Victoria out of the diner into the storm, his heart pounding hard enough to bruise ribs. They stood beneath the glowing diner sign, the rain slicing between them like falling wires. Explain everything, he said. Victoria opened a waterproof folder and held out several documents, birth records, altered DNA reports, internal memos from Hale Industries' medical subsidiary. The deeper Michael read, the colder he became. 7 years ago, Victoria had been pregnant during a hostile takeover attempt. Her board feared scandal, feared weakness. They secretly bribed a senior doctor at the private hospital where she gave birth. The board needed her unattached, unencumbered, so the doctor falsified the newborn's condition and told her the baby didn't survive. At the same time, the same doctor manipulated a DNA test involving Michael, claiming the child wasn't his. But the truth was darker, the infant was handed off to a nurse who quietly moved babies through fast-track adoptions. So long as it kept everyone silent, the system continued. Until recently. Victoria discovered the truth by accident. An internal audit revealed payments to a consultant tied to the hospital. One domino fell, then another, until the